Good afternoon, madam.
Yes, good afternoon, sir.
Yeah, we'll wait for 1 or 2 minutes because people are joining.
Okay,
After 2 minutes, we'll start it.
okay, sir. My voice is clear
Yeah, your voice is clear.
and video.
Video is also clear.
Okay, and screen sharing, sir.
Yes, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
Welcome to all the participants. Before starting this webinar on the topic C-DAC solution for banking domain, a brief introduction of C-DAC as well as today's presenters I am going to present. Center for Development of Advanced Computing, C-DAC, is the premier R&D organization of the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology for carrying out R&D in IT, electronics, and associated areas. C-DAC has contributed for developing solutions that address data security concerns and ensure compliance with regulatory requirements. This is crucial for banks that deal with sensitive financial information and must adhere to strict regulations to protect customer data. Today's in the webinar presenters are Mr. Vijay Jain, Joint Director, C-DAC Mumbai. He deals with Aadhaar Data Vault. Dr. Shreya Bokre, Joint Director, explains on data revival, business continuity solutions. Basically, it is an end-to-end DR solution. Mr. Kapil Kant Kamal, Joint Director, going to explain on M-Seva App Store. It is India's indigenously developed app store under Atmanirbhar Bharat. Ms. Rekha Nair, Associate Director, presenting on E-Praman, Meri Pehchan. So it is basically a single sign-on solution with value adds like e-sign, etc. Before handing over to C-DAC Mumbai team, just two announcements. One is the presentation will be shared to all the members by today evening. Then participants can ask questions, any doubts by writing in the chat box, so that at the end, the presenters will give replies to them based on the availability of time. Madam, it's on mute. Yours.
Thank you so much, sir. I would like to thank Indian Banks Association for giving us opportunity to present our solutions to all the banks. And we encourage participants to write the questions in the chat box, and we can answer after the session will get over. And you can also, if not, you can also write your queries to egavmumbai@cdac.in. So we'll be writing in the chat box also. So we will begin the order in the order like Aadhaar data vault will be presented first. So I would request Mr. Vijay Jain, who is the Joint Director C-DAC Mumbai, to present to you.
A very good afternoon to all. Thanks for the opportunity for the Indian Bank Association. So I'm going to discuss about the Aadhaar data vault. As we all aware that most of the banks utilizes Aadhaar as one of the ID to give the benefits to the citizens or their customers or doing the e-KYC kind of a thing. As the government has introduced JAM, so Jan Dhan accounts and then Aadhaar and mobile, these three we all are aware has created a revolution in the payment industry, especially. Now, with introduction of all these things, it also introduced the limitation in terms of a data security and privacy, uh, for which UIDAI basically introduced the mandate in 2017 that any Aadhaar related data which you are dealing should be ensured in a secured manner. Basically, the data security should be ensured wherever you are dealing with the Aadhaar numbers and the related data obtained from the UIDAI. So the agenda of this today's presentation is going to be what is the Aadhaar number and risk. So Aadhaar number and risk we already know, the use cases and use case demonstration, a small demonstration which I will give it to you all. And the features which we do have the Aadhaar data vault solution as well as a service. C-DAC offers it as a service as well as a solution that I will demonstrate that what are the features we are offering and some statistics about it. So the moving forward, so Aadhaar framework, as we all aware, is basically comprises of these three components. One is the authentication user agency, which are basically to facilitate Aadhaar-based e-KYC and authentication. And most of the banks are basically AUAs and ASAs as well, or they may be using the ASA of NPCI. And ASA, Authentication Service Agency, which is having access to UIDAI repository. And the third component, which is the focus of this presentation, is basically Aadhaar data vault, which is supposed to maintain by all the entities who are dealing with the Aadhaar data. That is the Aadhaar data vault, and this is the focus of the presentation. So what are the Aadhaar data risks, which if we see is not only Aadhaar data risk, I would like to highlight any personal identity information has this kind of a risk associated with it. So the unencrypted, it is mostly stored in an unencrypted format in most of the application databases. Unrestricted access. So over here, unrestricted access means the internal threads. So no compliance is in place for its access and all. Insecure storage, storing along with the resident data, so that complete profile is maintained at one place, so that if anybody gets an access to that application database, he has a complete access to the resident's profile. Primary identifier, in most of the application it was made as a primary identifier, and it became very difficult to de-link it with the residence database or your customer's database. Moving forward, I would like to highlight some of the use cases, like Election Commission of India wanted to link voter IDs with the Aadhaar numbers to weed out duplicate voter entries. Income tax anyways is mandated that okay, PAN should be linked with Aadhaar number. Various health applications, educational applications, ESI, then LPG schemes. So we have the oil marketing companies, the three companies mainly, IUCL, BPCL, and HPCL, which offers LPG subsidies to the citizens of India. And they would also like to weed out the duplicates through some number. EPFO, PF and pension linked with Aadhaar, and various DBT schemes, and definitely the banks. Banks are also relying heavily on the Aadhaar, as I gave the example, Jan Dhan, Aadhaar, and mobile. These three things on which the whole things are running in the payment industry today in a seamless manner. So now I would like to give the example that before the introduction of the vault, what used to take place, like any entity, I give an example of Indian Oil Corporation, where the customer relationship management system used to capture the customer's data, including Aadhaar number, and they used to store it in their customer relationship stores or the database in an unencrypted format. So the typical scenario which is there still exists in most of the government applications or some of the banking applications as well, that all this data is maintained in a plain text format kind of a thing. So now, considering this UIDAI Supreme Court guideline, UIDAI introduced that okay, any data related to Aadhaar should be maintained in a secured manner in a separate repository which they termed as Aadhaar Data Vault. So the CLM now still the flow remains same in irrespective of, rather than storing the Aadhaar number in their own database, it has to be pushed into the separate repository which is called as Aadhaar Data Vault, and that Aadhaar Data Vault will be storing this Aadhaar number in an encrypted format. Now this encryption should not be done only based on soft keys, rather should be HSMs, because you all are coming from the banking domain. The HSM is the hardware security module which is used to manage the digital keys, which is used to sign or encryption and decryption of the any crucial data. So now after storing this Aadhaar number into Aadhaar Data Vault, Aadhaar Data Vault will be issuing a reference number which you may reference into your data store. So that was the whole flow which was introduced by UIDAI, that rather than storing the Aadhaar number and its related data into the main databases of the application, it should be dealing and should be maintained in a separate repository termed as Aadhaar Data Vault. So what are the ADV major features if I like to highlight? So C-DAC provides ADV as a national service as well as a solution. So depending upon the requirement, we can customize that solution, whatever we are offering. In solution, we do have some additional features as well, rather than in the service. So ADV major service features are basically access control, API and network level access control is there. FIPS 142 compliant HSM high level devices are deployed by C-DAC in a phase. Security practices guidelines, and data security is at rest as well as in motion has been ensured. The bulk processing, we also offer the entities who would like to avail this as a service. They can migrate their existing data with the help of certain utilities, which we are going to give it to them. So we are not going to take your bulk data at our data center at our place. Rather than we are going to run those utilities from your premises, from your environment, and pushing the data into the ADV. Moving forward, in addition to that, we also introduced one more API which is called a duplicate check service. So the purpose of this API was basically, I would like to add upon one more feature, that the data maintained in the Aadhaar Data Vault is logically segregated. So it's like if you do have multiple clients or the multiple banks or the multiple entities using the Aadhaar Data Vault service, each of them are going to have a different repository for them, logical different repository for them. So it means that the Aadhaar number received from the two same banks are not going to be maintained in the same repository. They are going to be in their different repositories. That's why we introduced this kind of a duplicate check service. In case these two banks would like to know that whether the same Aadhaar number has been seeded by the other bank also, then you can use this API in which we are going to just tell you yes or no kind of a response, rather than sharing anybody's data with each other. Like entity A data will not be shared with entity B. That kind of a facility is there. Moving forward, ADV service users are Election Commission of India is one of the largest user of ADV, which has almost linked around 60 crore voter IDs with Aadhaar numbers in a secured manner. Then the oil marketing companies, as I mentioned, Indian Oil Corporation, HPCL, BPCL, all these three companies together is a Government of India project, which they called as Common LPG Data Platform. Then Central Registrar of Cooperative Societies, the Sahara refund which is taking place, this is also using the Aadhaar Data Vault service. E-Praman NSSO is in-house our own project or the product. Then SIDBI is there, NABARD is there, Maharashtra, Government of Maharashtra is there, Ministry of Home Affairs. So many clients are there which are in pipeline also. AICD is now coming up. So we do have LICs already in the final stages of the onboarding. So we do have many clients who are coming to us ADV as a service users to securely maintain their Aadhaar numbers. Moving forward, as I mentioned in the starting itself, so this service definitely we are only supporting securing the Aadhaar number only. But in case you are interested in solution, we do have the complete end-to-end solution where we can not only secure the Aadhaar number, rather any ID, any personal identity information you can maintain through this vault solution. And we do provide the additional feature of securing even your documents. Like if you do have certain documents, scanned documents, something, and you like to encrypt them and store them in a secured repository, then this solution can help you out. And this is again a complete interoperable solutions, and all the features which are there in the service are going to be there, or rather, as I mentioned in the starting itself, additional features in terms of like you're having the additional IDs, personal identity information, whether it's a PAN card, voter ID, or your passport number, or any driving license number, any personal identity information data you would like to secure for customers can be availed using this as a solution. In that scenario, the infrastructure and other things would be owned by you. A complete software solution, its configuration and everything can be given to the entities, which they can operate at their own, or they can take the support of C-DAC also in the AMC, whatever mode you choose. So that is what I would like to highlight upon. And one more point in the last, I would like to say that we are in the service anyways, we are extending it further to support other IDs also, but not the documents. So PAN card, voter ID and all, anyways we are in the pipeline, so that we will be releasing the APIs where you can secure your other numbers also, in case you would like to go with the service as well. So this is what I would like to say about Aadhaar Data Vault solution, which C-DAC is offering both as a national service and as well as a solution. So I would be more than happy in case the participants are having any questions. So I'll take a few questions immediately and on a quick basis, and can answer them. So you can reach us to adb@cdac.in. The website is adbservice.epraman.gov.in, and you can reach me and my colleague Rajiv Srivastava. Both of us basically look after this project, and you can follow up on the social media accounts, with the social media accounts which are shown on this page. So I would be more than happy in case you have some queries, or otherwise I would invite Dr. Shreya Bukade to take over for the disaster recovery solution. Okay, thank you. Then because I have not received any no questions has been seen over here, so I think I either have cleared everything, or in case if you have still any doubts, you would like to reach to us, you can use any one of this ID, or you can, as Sonal mentioned in the starting, egovmumbai@cdac.in, you can use that ID also to share your queries or doubts, if any. We will be more than happy to answer all those. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, this is Dr. Shreya Bukare. And now the next solution that in this portfolio is C-DAC Revival, Business Continuity and Disaster Recovery Solution. So when we talk about any financial industry, so you have what all crisis situation that we need to understand first, and then we can have the entire disaster. So basically, who all are causing, because we are going in a digital era, we are moving toward it, and the banking sector is the most important sector which has been moved entirely in a digital platforms. So from that angle, we need to see what all crisis situation that can have the disastrous situation in our solution, in our banking sector. That can be a man-made calamity, like for example cyber breach, or you can have the natural calamity, you can have a geopolitical crisis, you can have the reputation crisis. All these can hamper your business, banking business, and that can generate the disaster recovery scenario, where you need to have some solution through which you will be able to come up with a best, you will be able to live your business. So from that angle, what happen, how can we achieve the disaster recovery, that we need to understand. So there are 6 R's through which any disaster recovery solution we can handle through the 6 R. The first one is to reduce as much as possible by any means, like for example, by creating the secured environment, cyber secured environment for your banking sector, we can reduce the disaster recovery scenarios. Then what happens if something happens, something goes wrong? In that case, what would be the immediate response that we would be having? Then after that, if something happens, then how would be the recovery situation? Then how we are going to resume it back, and then restore, and then return back. If we have restored our business, then return back. If that natural calamity or any disaster situation that has happened, that has calmed down, then how we can return our business to from our primary side. So that these all 6 R's complete the disaster recovery in all. We, being a C-DAC, has started our journey in 2006 in e-governance sector. So since then we started also looking at the disaster recovery, how we can have even the recovery for that e-governance wherever we are providing the services. From there we started our solution building in a disaster recovery. So we have a technical expertise, we have a patented solution in this disaster recovery, and most of our e-governance solution that we are providing, like in Aadhaar data vault, and most of the solution that you are going to look forward, for all of them we are providing our own disaster recovery solution. And so from that angle we can see if in a banking sector also it can be used. So we look forward to that also. So the first product in our Revival product family is a Revival flat file backup. This is whenever you want to replicate a data at a file format, whatever your file data is there. So basically our solution is catering to the ICT disaster. So any communication data or any data format, whichever is coming, that how it can be secured and how it can be provided, how you can achieve the disaster recovery by securing that data. From that angle, C-DAC is looking into. So here, most of the solutions that we are providing is from the data security point of view. So first product is a Revival flat file backup, where the file level data can be secured at a secondary site and can be produced whenever required, whenever there is a disaster situation happens on the primary side. The second product is a block level replicator. Instead of file, whenever you instead of a file, whenever you want to send a data at a block level, means the piece of data can be sent, and that can be sent using a sync, using a async or the optimal DR fashion. So that data, instead of sending the entire file, the chunk of the data at a chunk level also you can send it on a block level. So that is a block level replication solution. The third is a active. So you have a disaster recovery site which you don't want to waste the infrastructure on the DR side, the secondary side. So there you want to have a distribution of the data in such a manner that you can start your application from both the ends. So from that angle, we have worked on the active replicator, and most of our ePraman and other solutions are working in this active state. So all the states means wherever geographic locations are there, the data center locations are there, the data is active at all the sites, all the time. So, and the fourth product is a DRM, as a Revival DRM. So all these replication solutions that are working, that can be monitored and managed by using the C-DAC DRM. So using a single click, you can migrate from primary site to the secondary site using this DRM. You can have the daily activities working on the daily activities you can perform using this web console. So these are the four products we have in our portfolio. We have received granted the patent. We have received a grant on the patent for this Revival solution. We have also been awarded from the national awards like NASSCOM and Scotch Order of Merit for this product. So for the deployments have been done since we started our journey in 2006. So in 2012 to 2021, our solution in a NSDG Sangam Mission Mode project it was working. So there it has handled 4 times disaster situation as well. So every time we got the disaster, the data loss as a zero data loss. So it was like a seamless solution working all the time and 4 times it has achieved the zero data loss. The second is LRIT, long range identification and tracking. This is a mission mode again, NCIIPC and ISMS standard application. So it has been, it's a DG shipping project where the Indian government is providing as a data center supporter for all the Sri Lanka, Maldives and 2 more countries. So, so all the shipping data is coming to this LRIT, and that has been managed. And for that, the data center has been managed by us, as well as the disaster recovery for that. So a mobile app store and Aadhaar data vault, these are the 2 solutions for them also. We have provided. The upcoming project is a honeypot threat capturing. So that also we have done the UAT for a few of the projects, and we will be coming up for that also as a disaster recovery solution. So here the architecture for each and every project, we have identified what all things you require the data recovery for that, and accordingly the business continuity and disaster recovery solution has been given or offered for them. So integration with the application services. If you are having any banking application, to have a DR solution. If you are having your own application only, and that for that you want a DR solution, yes, we are happy to help you give a business continuity solution for your application. And if you are having a cloud environment where you want to have your application to be ported, and there you want to have a disaster recovery, so we can port it, and we can have you can avail that solution for the multiple applications. So as a service also you can take as a. So this we can provide it. Along with that, if you have identified any DR solution, yes, this is my DR solution that we are going to select and finalize. If you want any consultancy from that angle, whether you will be able to achieve any the DR near zero data loss for that or not, so that also can be provided. So along with this solution, we are also providing the consultancy services for this. So this is a contact detail, and you can reach out to us. My name is Dr. Shreya Bukare, shreya@cdac.in, cdac.in. You can drop a mail on that, or ipsan@cdac.in. Here also you can drop a mail on the to us. You can reach out to us if you want any kind of solution, that we are happy to help you. So that's all from my side. If yeah, next is Mr. Kapil Kamal, M Seva App Store. He'll be giving the presentation now. Thank you so much.
Hello, good afternoon, all of you. Myself, Kapil Kant Kamal. I will give you the overview about the National App Store, that is M Seva App Store. It is a national app store for hosting the all type of mobile applications that will be developed by the government as well as the individual developer or private entities also. So it is a background. Basically, the National Mobile Seva is a initiative launched by the MIT, and C-DAC is a development agency for the develop the app store. So Mobile Seva App Store is India's first indigenous developed app store. It is a one-stop solution for the all type of Indian application. Basically, we are creating a trusted and secure environment for hosting the application for the developer as well as the citizen, so that citizen can download the secure application from the trusted store, is a government store. So it is developed under the Atmanirbhar Bharat. So how you can host the mobile application on the Mobile Seva App Store? Basically, first you have to create a developer account. Then after the approval of your developer account, you can upload the mobile application. You can publish the mobile application. So the beauty of this platform is basically we will also provide the VAPT audit, security audit for each and every application. Whatever the application we have received, we will do the VAPT or security audit. So two type of security we will do. One is a dynamic and a static, and we will share the report to the developer. In case the application is qualifying our parameters, so we will approve the, we will publish the application, and we will live the application. In case there is some issue, so we will share the complete VAPT report to the developer. Also the best practices document, how you can fix the vulnerability that we will find during the testing. Is the overall status of this app store. Right now the 1600 plus mobile applications are there. We are connected with the 4000 developers, and 9 crore application is downloaded through this app store. Earlier this app store is only for the government for the e-governance application, but recently the government is open for the all the sectors, like for the private developer as well as the startups or other companies. So any Indian application or any Indian developer can host the application free of cost. So these are the security measures that we will check during the audit. So it is compliance with the OS standards. So we will divide the application in the three categories. One is a static application, dynamic application, and the payment related application. Based on the application category, we will perform the different type of test cases. So we will map our test cases with the OS industrial best practices top 10 vulnerabilities. So we will map our test cases accordingly. So during the testing, we will mainly focus about the data storage, how whatever the personal information is taken by the application, it is safely stored in the application or server side, we will check the communication channel, it is secure or not. There is any dangerous permission is taken by the application. We will also check the application is tamper proof or reverse engineering is possible or not. We will also check the application have a capability to check run on the rooted device or not, because rooted device is a more vulnerable device. So that is basically so right now the hosting of the application and the testing of application is free of cost. So there is no charge as on date. It is basically completely free because the cost is bear by the government of India. When we will talk about the app store, so we also provide the some application ecosystem, basically ecosystem where the developer requires some type of APIs. Like you require the APIs for the SMS API, authentication related APIs, for payment gateway APIs. So we will have a tie-up with the government agencies. So we will provide the complete APIs to you, to the developer, so that at the time of developing the application, they can consume the APIs. There is a different mode to access the mobile seva app store. First is basically you can access through the our portal. So that is www.apps.mgov.gov.in. When the application will hosted on the mobile seva app store, we will provide the individual URL for each and every application, so that that application URL department can publish on their website also. We also having the master application. Master application is similar to Google and iPhone or Samsung type of application. Through this master application, you can download any application that is available on the mobile seva app store. So then the QR code scanning is also there. So each and every application have a QR code. So you can scan, user can scan the QR code, the application will download and install automatically. So currently we have four method to access the mobile seva app store. Government is also in the process to taking the basically the integrate with the OEMs, so that when the new mobile handset will come, so the our master application is pre-install is there. Pre-install application is there, so that user can easily download the application from the government store. The discussion is going on with the all the OEMs. So then there is a in the app store there is a two sections. One is a developer and another is a for the citizen, so that download the application. In the developer portal there is a hosting requirement, how you can host the application. All the documents are available. These are the benefit for the industry, like basically the support. We will provide the direct support to the developer, so that developer will get the sample code when the issue will come in the VAPT, how they can fix the VAPT issues. We will provide the documentation. We will also provide the sample code. Then it is free of cost. There is no charge. Right now it is free of cost for the hosting as well as the for the testing. There is no charge. Then the security is basically in-house testing team is there by the C-DAC, because C-DAC is also the cert in panel agency. So we will do the all the security audit. Then the release management is also there. Whatever the application have a different release, so the complete repository will be maintained in the app store. This is the master application. Through master application you can download the any application. So currently the mobile seva app store is basically host the Android application. So all type of Android application we can host, and we will support the all type of extension of Android extensions like APK, ABB, APKs. So all extension we are supported. So this overall about the app store. Now if you have any questions you can ask. So I have received two questions. Basically, one is about the costing. So right now it is free of cost. There is no charge. It is completely free, hosting as well as the testing. So this app store is also it is available on the mobile seva app store, www.apps.mgov.gov.in. Through that you can download the application, master application, and through master application you can download the any application. So basically in the testing we will check the all type of basically all type of permission. What are the permission is required by the application? So we will check. In case there is a unnecessary permissions are there, like camera storage or any location and unnecessary permission is there, so we will intimate to the developer. After the fixing of this issue, then only the application will live. Another question is basically, can we publish the financial application? Yes, you can publish the financial application. Any type of application you can publish on this app store, like citizen related application, game related application, financial related application. All type of application you can publish, and we have also the different type of domain. Domain is also there on our app store, so you can select the domain and you can publish the applications. So, any other questions? So we are basically how long you take a publish the application. So basically we will take a 2 days time. In the 2 days time, we will check the application. We will share the report to the developer. In case application have bug free or it is basically is qualifying our parameters, so application will immediately live. Otherwise, we will share the report to the developer. So publishing time is 2 days basically. This tool is not available free of cost, because we will share the report to the developer. We will do the testing free of cost, but we are not provide any tool to the developers. We will take the APK file, then we will do the testing, and we will give the reports to the developer. Only we require a testing report. Yes, we will provide the testing report as well as the best practices document. In the best practices document, how you can fix the vulnerability, the solution is also there. So after the developer will fix the issues, then we will developer fix the issue, then resubmit the application. We will retest, then the application will go live. No, source code, we don't require a source code. We require only the APK file. So we will do the static testing of the application. So thank you so much. And the next session is basically Rekha Nair will take our next session about the e-Praman. Thank you so much.
So good afternoon, good evening, everybody. We will start with e-Praman. So e-Praman is a national single sign-on and multi-factor authentication service. So this is a MIT sponsored project, and it is now also a part of Meri Pehchan, which is a national single sign-on launched by Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji last year. So what is basically e-Praman is one example, quick example that I can give is like you have your Gmail account, right? So whenever you are trying to log into some websites like LinkedIn or Dropbox or Zoom, something, you can see that if you don't have an account on LinkedIn, there is an option there, continue with Google. So if you have a Google account, you need not have a LinkedIn account, but still you can log into LinkedIn using your Google account. So Google is a single credential that you have, and you can use it to log into multiple websites. So you need not create different profiles on each of these websites. So similarly, that concept, Mighty Ministry wanted that for all government services that are going online, we need a single sign-on, and that is how e-Praman came into picture, and that was how e-Praman was envisaged, and that is how it is implemented. Now, what are the features of e-Praman? One major factor is multi-factors. So now, as we know that only having a single factor may not be sufficient, because we have seen that there are many hacks and cyber attacks going on. So multi-factor authentication is now the need of the hour. So ePraman has implemented password, one-time password, digital certificate, and biometric. So it has implemented all these things, but it is up to the department who is coming to integrate on ePraman. When they are registering on ePraman, they can select what kind of an authentication they want their users to clear. So some service may want only password based authentication. So if I come to that service as a user and click on login, it will ask only for password, and once I clear the password, I'm redirected to that application. But some service like banking also, nowadays we have password plus OTP as a multi-factor authentication. So they can configure that, say that all the users that are coming to access the service, they want password plus OTP. So all these factors we have implemented. It is up to the departments who are integrating with ePraman what kind of an authentication they want to use. So this flexibility of chaining ePraman provides. You can have a combination of password OTP, password biometric, password digital certificate. So this kind of a chaining, flexibility in chaining is available on ePraman. So another feature is that it is the implementation is completely standard based. So when ePraman was envisaged, Mighty they made a committee of academic people, industry, Mighty, C-DAC, everybody came together and they made this ePraman standards document, which is a Gazette notified standards. You can download it also from the Mighty website and ePraman website. So based on that standards, ePraman was developed. So we are supporting SAML 2.0 as well as OIDC protocol now for authentication with Pixie support. So now with PKCE, that is Pixie, it is pronounced. With this, now we are able to support even mobile-based authentication. So if you have a mobile app and you want the user to be authenticated using ePraman, that is also possible now. Another important factor is this identity verification. So what happens is that physically when I'm going to access any service, I carry all my ID proofs, address proofs, everything. But when I'm creating a digital profile, how will the service identify this person? So now what we have done is that we are integrated with Aadhaar, PAN. So if there is a user who wants to do an eKYC using Aadhaar, he has to enter the Aadhaar number, and then we connect with UIDI and we get the eKYC done, and then we mark that profile as Aadhaar verified. So how this is useful is that if there is a service who wants only Aadhaar verified person to access their service, they can always mention that the user has to be ID verified based on Aadhaar. So when the user creates a profile on ePraman, he will be asked to mandatorily do the KYC also when he's trying to access the service. So in this way, service can assure that the identity of the person has been verified beforehand and he's not just any other imposter coming to access their service. And now we are trying to bring in more ID proofs like voter ID, passport, etc. Then role-based authorization is also we provide. So service many times services have many different roles like manager, admin, consultant, etc. And they want that this role information also if ePraman can send to us after authentication, it will be helpful for them so that they can show that appropriate dashboards or appropriate pages, customized UI pages to them. So for that, we also have role-based features available in ePraman. So again, department at the time of registration, they can say that these are the roles that I have in my service, and the say manager has all the permissions like read, write, and edit and all. And some data entry operator may have only or a supervisor may have only a view permission and all. So this kind of a configuration department can do on the on our ePraman department portal. Again, fraud management, like I said, now cyber attacks and everything is growing. So we have built in some fraud management techniques also, like IP-based tracking, alert notifications we send to the user if we see that his browser usage has changed or his OS has changed, so that the user is aware that what is going on in his profile. Then geolocation based, and whatever channels we are establishing between ePraman and the service or ePraman and the user. Everything is based on symmetric channel encryption, and the SSO token that we share with the department after the user is authenticated, that is digitally signed by ePraman. Again, the department, when they receive the token, they can verify that this has been sent by ePraman. So all these things are in place, and we are currently in, this what happens is that in ePraman, we try to keep on improving ePraman. So we keep on looking at what are the state of art things happening, and new features we keep on adding. So like we are trying to build in mobile push notification also into this, then keystroke dynamics fraud management. So some again, some new additions may come on to ePraman. So if you are integrated with ePraman, you can also avail of all these new things that are coming in ePraman, and only once you have to integrate. There is no other integration effort again required later on. Somebody is saying my voice is echoing. I hope now it is audible properly. So this is how the flow happens. Like the user has to create a profile on ePraman. So the profile creation is very easy. Just have to enter the mobile number has to be verified, then name, date of birth and gender, and username, password. That is the only thing we take when he is doing his profile. Then a user has an option to create complete his KYC using Aadhaar, PAN as well as DL. Any of this he can do, or all also he can do. And the digital profile is created of the user. Similarly, departments who want to avail ePraman, they also have to register on ePraman. We sign an MOU and there is a registration portal that they have to register on. And then after all these preliminaries are completed, now when the user comes to access that service, whatever authentication factor the service has configured at the time of registration, those will be thrown to the user. User clears it and we create an SSO token which contains all the user information, authentication status, everything, and that will pass on to the department. And for this, all audit tracking and everything is available on a department portal. You can go and see what are the transactions done during the period and all. So this is how integration can be done with ePraman. So as you can see, this service is using only ePraman for its login and registration of user. Everything is happening only on ePraman. And this portal, if you can see, they already have a login, their own login. So what they have done is that they have added an additional here, sign in using ePraman. So if a user doesn't have a developer portal account, he can always use his ePraman ID and log into that portal. So these are the two different ways in which you can integrate with ePraman. So whatever I talked about currently, that was the ePraman national service that we are providing. And there are some departments or services who say that we don't need SSO, but we surely require only OTP service or only your biometric authentication service. So that also can be availed in within ePraman. So that will be, but the national SSO that I talked about, that is currently offered free of charge because we have a sponsorship from the ministry. But these services, if you want to avail independently, then they are on a commercial basis, and that is minimum charges based on the transaction that you perform. So if you want to avail only the services that we talked about, like even PAN verification or DL verification separately, that also can be provided on a transaction basis. So that is all about ePraman, and this is our websites, epraman.gov.in, that is our content website, and epraman.meripehchan.gov.in is our user portal. So you can go there and see, create your users and see how ePraman works. And epraman@cdac.in is our official email ID. If you have any queries, you can always write to us on this email. We'll be happy to hear from you. So thank you, and if you have any questions, you can ask. Finally, we have the PPT problem. Whether separate biometric device is required or fingerprint scanner in mobile is enough. So currently we are supporting biometric device of because we are using only Aadhaar based fingerprint and iris. So you need the RD device that UIDAI has approved. So integration, we provide APIs for integration, and we have integration APIs ready in Java, .NET, Python, PHP, and JavaScript. So if you have your application in any of these technologies, we can share with you the integration document. So these are only API calls that you have to do. So if you have any queries related to the other products also that we have gave the presentation about, you can always ask.
Okay, if no questions are there, I think we can close the session. Participants can reach out to C-DAC. The contact details are given in the presentations, which we will be sharing to all the member banks today. Then thank you, C-DAC team, for presenting the solutions which are quite useful to the banking sector. All the four solutions which you have showcased, banks will be using it. Maybe they may be able to reach you separately. Thank you, C-DAC.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for giving us this opportunity today to reach out all banks. So, but there were no questions from for ADV and DR solution. Is there any they can ask them now because product owners are available?
Yeah,
Is
if
there
any
any
questions
queries
are there,
from?
participants, please, if any questions are there, we will give another 2 minutes time.
Yeah, for Aadhaar Data Vault and DR solution?
What we'll do, madam, if there are no questions, anyhow, we are
So
sharing
you
the
can,
contact.
yes.
We are sharing
Can
the
you-
contact details. They will approach you separately.
Sure, sir.
And actually, this presentation will be shared to our management committee also, where bank MDs are members. And we'll be sharing to them also, so they may approach. Okay.
Okay, sir. So I have written my email, this egovmumbai at cdac.in. They can reach out to this number. And from the presentation, they can contact directly the product owners.
Yeah. Okay,
Thank
ma'am.
you so much. Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Thank you very much.